Well, it's still kind of blurry, but I don't really know what else to do. Um, I'm sorry if me touching my eyeball periodically throughout stream might be a little gross, but you know what? Um, I like having vision, and I'm a little confused as to which contact is the right and the left one, because normally I don't get it wrong when, um, when I'm taking them off and putting them back into their case and solution. Uh, but last night was not one of those nights, and I think I might have switched it around a little bit. Oh, fuck me, I can't. Not the contacts. Are you okay? Jesus Christ. Yes, I'm okay. We're just this is not technical difficulties. This is biological difficulties. Don't worry about it. Um I gotta like sit here and like touch my eyeball a bit. I'm sorry. It's just a matter of like I'm not particularly farsighted. Uh I'm not particularly sighted in general. If I'm not wearing these, I can't see very far. Like, oh my god. Hello, Kira. Lovely to have you around again. Just trying to figure out. You know what? We'll do this one. This one is here. It seems. Just trying to choose a soundtrack for today. Just put that on loop. Alright, that should be good. Okay. Oh my god, I have clear vision again. What a time to be alive. What funky, silly times we live in. Okay, phone on do not disturb. Let's get right into it. Maybe I'm probably gonna get distracted in the first 5 seconds of drawing. Um, so let's see. We hit what's it called? What's that funny number up there at the top of my screen? 102 followers. Oh my god. Snooze that ad. Oh my god. We hit 102 followers, which means uh, we are set for the bass concert. Um, the I just I'm just so shocked. I can't believe we made it this far. I can't even believe that we hit like 80. Honestly, I have no idea how we got that far. But it's amazing. Um, yeah, thank you. I'm excited for the bass concert. Uh, I remember when I said about getting distracted 5 seconds into the stream about drawing? Um, I need to show this off. I need to show this off. So, as you guys know, for those of you who follow me on the socials, uh, where I just say whatever unhinged shit comes to my head, um, you would know that I bought myself a little treat. Oh boy. This! I've disappeared into the camera. I don't know how I'm going to show this off on stream, but here she is. This is my Spectre 5-string bass. Oh boy, how the fuck am I gonna show this off? Yeah, she's a little massive, if you couldn't tell. I am, I'm gonna move my chair real quick just to show you how, just how tall this actually is. Um, for those of you who are wondering, this is absolutely where all the commission money is gonna go. So I stand at 5'2". This bass is, I think, like right up there, like just right here, like a head and a half shorter than me. I'm almost certain this is almost as tall as the general manager at Carl's Jr. This is as tall as some middle schoolers. Like, kinda crazy. I can't play it on stream yet. It is a really beautiful bass, literally. I love her so much. Oh, she's gorgeous. Let me let me just you might see a little bit of a mess on the floor, but that's okay. Let me just zoom in on some of these details. Like the the frets have like this really nice, like it's not pearlescent, uh, but like it's a really cool looking thing. It's got a nice cherry red color to it. So, oh, that's the camera frozen. Hang on. God forbid I have a camera that works. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't play it yet because my tiny little practice amp, who says that the general manager isn't a bass guitar in fancy clothing. Yeah, I know. I need to tell her. I need to tell her that I'm almost certain that this is only like a few inches shorter than her. Well, she's not technically my general manager anymore because she got transferred. And I'm literally so heartbroken about it. I won't lie, I cried a little bit at work yesterday over it. Because me and her were really close, and I just hope the new general manager is okay with me screaming about terrorism in front of the customers. I hope they aren't too strict about that, because this is one of the only ways I stay sane in the work environment. But anyways, hello, welcome 5 viewers. That has to be one of the strangest things. I haven't started drawing yet, isn't that incredible? Anyways, I can't actually play the bass right now as much as I really want to show it off, because my little amp cannot handle how powerful that thing is. When I say that thing is deep, it is deep. I see you there with the hydrate redeem. Do you guys like that? Do you guys like making me do my proper fluid intake for the day? I've been really good about it actually. I've been really good about drinking water lately, which is kind of nice. It's a very good thing, it seems. Who knew drinking water could be such a wonderful thing to do for the body? That isn't to say that I don't drink. I just drink like a lot of sweet drinks as well. I need to work on that. But, yeah, so the plan today, aside from the art, is after stream, me and Johnny, we're gonna go down, to the next town over, because there's a pawn shop there. I'm gonna load my bass guitar into the back of my car, along with the cord, and I'm just gonna test out a couple of amps. I told Johnny, like, hey, I'll let you use, like, if I get a big amp, I'm gonna let you borrow it if you'd like, and we can just split the cost that way. He agreed, and if he changes his mind on that, that is also okay. This is all completely self-inflicted. I want you guys to know that if you commission me, this is exactly where the commission money is technically going towards getting lunch for me and my brothers, but it would be appreciated. That's not a cry for help. I can handle it, but if you guys do commission me, I want you guys to know that this is exactly where that money is going to, because I'm silly like that. I'm also glad that I kind of went big on the bass too, because at the end of the day, I'm personally of the opinion that you don't need a lot of instruments. You really only need like a few at the end of the day. The only reason, I will say though, food and then the bass. Yeah, exactly. Oops. Accidentally switched the colors instead of going to my eraser. Yeah, it's food and then the bass. All of my other expenses are covered by my job. But, anyways, yeah, I'm of the opinion that you don't really need a lot of instruments. Johnny has a lot of guitars, but he does make sure each of them serves, like, a very, like, specific, function for him. Like, whether it's he wants to keep one guitar in a certain tuning, or, maybe it's, like, a comfort while playing thing, because we are a short family here at the house, and, that kind of stuff, it is important to keep in mind. Me personally, I don't think I need a lot of basses. Like, I'll take the 5 string, sure, but I don't think I'm ever gonna need a 6 string at the end of the day, or a fretless, or anything else. So I'm happy with the 2 that I have here at home. I will say though, I was talking about this with a game store staff last night because we were just kind of like vibing and stuff, and I wanted to share the guitar because I was really excited to show it off, right? Um, we got on the subject of like instruments and stuff, and I was like, I have too many instruments at home. Um, so let's start with the instruments that I have. I should have about 2 flutes right now. We're gonna talk about the stuff that's in my room, okay? I have. Wait a minute. There was like a weird lighting thing, like right there on my camera, and I'm not sure what that's about. Anyways, um, I have 2 flutes in my room. One is a silver head joint Yamaha, I think, and the other was some other brand. It might have been a Bundy. I don't really remember. Um, but I had those 2. So the Yamaha's a B-foot open hole flute, which is really nice. It sounds really good. I use that flute for concert band, um, because that was the thing in band. They encouraged us to have 2 flutes, one for marching band, one for concert band. The marching band flute, you could afford to make it like less pretty, less expensive, less everything, because you basically what it was like, well, you don't want to bring your nice expensive concert band flute out onto the marching band thing. So that's why I have the 2. Um, reality, I had like 4 or 5 flutes. So what it was that when I started band, I had this cheap brand. I think the brand was like DeLuca or something like that. It was alright, but at some point into my career, I was like, you know what, maybe it is time for me to get an upgrade. So we got that, but then it's like, okay, I think that was right about when I got my Yamaha, like when I decided like I wanted like a nicer flute, basically, right? And then, of course, when I got the Yamaha, it was the open hole B-foot and everything. And it was like, okay, well, I can't use this for marching band, so we'll just get like another like cheaper-ish brand. And that was when this was like maybe about 2016 already, and in 2016 that was when I started like developing more like eczema issues. So one of those issues being a really bad nickel allergy. That new marching band flute that I got was nickel plated. I think it was, I think it was silver plated nickel. That silver did not do enough to protect my poor lips from the nickel, and it just hurt and itched so bad, right around here. So had to get a different one for that. So I think that would be right about my 4th flute then. And I just had them because I wasn't sure what to do. I think I gave like 2 of them to my mom. Yeah, it is rough. It sucks being allergic to instruments. It sucks having sensitive skin in general. When I say I need new skin, when I say I'm gonna peel off my skin and everything, I mean it. It like genuinely sucks. One of the reasons why I don't have a skincare routine is purely because my skin is just so like it's so sensitive sometimes that I just kind of don't see a point. Like, it's going to flare up no matter what I do. It got like really warm again as soon as August hit around here, so now like the heat rashes that were on my arm that were healing up are flaring up again, and it's really itchy, and I don't like it. So it's like, like, what do you want me to do? Like, nothing, I think, is just going to help. That's just how it is. And a lot of people with peanut allergies tend to have sensitive skin too, so this was just bound to happen. The rash is coming no matter what I do. I'm literally allergic to summer. Because not only am I getting the heat rashes on my arms now, this is a new thing. This is, these kinds of heat rashes just started like this year. I get the eczema blisters on my fingers too. Before we thought maybe it was like a stress related thing, but every summer, without fail, I will get like the tiny little clear blisters on my fingers to start like popping in again. So it's the heat. It is literally just like I cannot stand like hot weather like at all. It sucks. Like I already hate summer, right? Like I already like hate like hot weather and everything. Couple that with like having an allergic reaction to it. Like I'm sorry, I'm not built for this. It is kind of funny though, like Filipino and I can't handle a little bit of hot weather. Like come on. I've been built like I'm like the anti-Filipino Filipino. I don't like hot weather. Like I don't like hot weather. I'm allergic to peanuts. I don't like mangoes. It's so funny. Oof, what have I done to nature? Absolutely nothing to my knowledge. I love nature and this is this is what it is. God just had to nerf me because if she didn't nerf me, I would simply be too powerful for this world, and that's what it is. Look, I, I might not necessarily believe in like religion and stuff like that, but saying things like that is just like too funny for me not to. Um, Speaking of nature, though, I will say, I think maybe the bees might be a little mad at me. A few months ago, I was leaving work. But I wasn't going home just yet. I was going over to an 85C bakery that opened here, and you would be too strong. Yeah, I'm sensitive to heat as well, but not that sensitive. Exactly, right? This is a funny story though, on like the subject of nature being mad at me. So I clocked out of work and I was heading over to a bakery to go pick up breakfast for myself because I think the next day I was opening or something like that. And I get into my car and setting my things down and stuff, and I hear like this tapping on the glass behind me. I look over, right, expecting there to be a person. There is a really, really angry bee just ramming itself over and over again into one of my windows. And I'm like, bro, chill, chill, right? Like, it just, like, pop, pop, pop. Like, over and over again against my window. And I'm like, what the? Like, what is happening, right? And I'm like yelling from the driver's seat. Like, I'm sorry my vehicle is only partial zero emissions, okay? I can't afford electric right now. Um, so yeah, that was kind of funny. Um, I don't know what that bee was doing. I can only assume that somehow it was just really, really. It had some beef with my car, let's just put it that way. You are like the opposite of a Disney princess where the animals are angry with you. No, animals love me most of the time. I'm really good with dogs. I'm really good with cats. I've had like a butterfly or two like land on me. Wasps also seem to like landing on me. But that was terrifying, so, you know, like, I really do like animals, and a lot of the times animals are generally pretty kind to me. It's just this one bee that was so pissed. If there's any, like, person in my family, though, who is a Disney princess, it is my dad. The number of times birds will just approach him as he's watering the grass so that they may get a drink of water is actually insane. One time, one time, a long time ago, this is like back in it was either my freshman year or my sophomore year of high school. Or rather, the semester hadn't started yet, but I was going into my sophomore year, I think. It's, throughout the summer, when we're in marching band, we will have, like, weekly rehearsals and stuff, right? So before we went in for rehearsal for today, my dad wanted to take me to a lake to go fishing. So, we did just that. I really like fishing. You can just tell that I was raised by my dad in so many aspects. I think it's hilarious. Anyways, so we go there. and we go to this spot by the water, and there is this bird just kind of like making a lot of noise like up in the tree, right? So I'm like, I wonder what's going on there. And I'm sitting in the chair in the shade while my dad's with the fishing pole, like it was his turn to hold the line or something like that. The bird lands on my chair, and I'm just like, Dad, 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 look at this. The bird is right there. He's like, oh my god, Kyra, this is amazing. I can't believe, like, the bird is, like, right there. And I'm like, I'm there convinced, right, that the bird is possessed by some sort of demon. Birds do not just approach people, and also this bird was screaming, like, the entire time. So, it keeps following us. Like, it lands on the fishing pole, it won't let us fish, and I was convinced that maybe there was, like, some sort of nest, right? There had to have been, like, some sort of nest that it didn't like us being near. That's when two park rangers come by and they're like, oh, you found my bird. And I'm just like, what? Turns out I think this bird might be something of a local, or was something of a local celebrity at that park. As I think it had learned that, people who come there to fish often have bait, and it wanted the worms. As soon as it got a worm, it flew away. And it's just like, man. That was hilarious. I don't have pictures of the bird anymore, I think, because it was on, like, an old phone. But that was hilarious, indeed. Let's see. Just a lot of funny instances of animals just being very silly around me. I know one time, Johnny had these, we had two hamsters before. Their names were Papa John and Herr Stiefel. Herr Stiefel was a little bit aggressive is the thing. Papa John was super friendly. But I wanted to hold, the second hamster, right? So, well, what a greedy bird in retrospect, but hey, at least it was not a demon. At least it was just hungry, yeah? Right? He got his little, hypothetical Snickers bar and went off. I respect it. Anyways, the second hamster was a little aggressive, and, we were having trouble, like, trying to, like, get him to climb onto our hands, because every single time, he would just bite our hands. They're just like, he was just a little mean, right? So I said, alright, you know what, enough is enough, right? So I stuck my hand in front of the hamster, right? The hamster bites it, I didn't move. I just stood there and be like, you are going to behave. After that, completely fine. I don't know what it was about that hamster, but somehow asserting dominance over it was basically the equivalent of, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna climb onto your hand now. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know if that's, like, Disney princess-esque enough, but, let it be known that I am alright with animals. It's the same thing with our chinchilla. I forget if I've mentioned him before. We don't take him out a lot because it's kind of hard with two dogs in the house. But I was also the one to, like, get him to finally, like, start, like, climbing onto, like, stuff. He lets me pick him up and everything. So yeah. I have trained a number of animals in this household. What were we talking about before this? It was banned. Oh yeah, instruments. Oh man, that was certainly a tangent, huh? That was a tangent and a half. But, yeah. I really do love animals. Something that I am proud of, like, lately, I am becoming way less skittish around bugs. The only time where it really gets me is if I think it's a spider, like, out of, like, the corner of my eye, because I have crippling arachnophobia, which is so sad, because I really do think spiders are cool. We always come back to arachnophobia in a sense, right? But, like, the other week when I was at summer fair, this time I had invited my friends because, I wanted to hang out with them, and I thought we would all be able to hang out more, but two of them had to leave, so it just left me and another friend, and, Yeah. But anyways, this one of those green beetles, the blind ones that fly around here in summer. I don't actually know what they're called. Hang on. Let's see. The blind. I think it's some kind of. I know it's some kind of scarab beetle. Hang on. Yeah, they're okay. So they're just green June beetles or fig eater beetles. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. These guys, they're so cute. Okay, well that's kind of an unflattering picture, but go off, I guess, Google. See, how do I? Oh, there we go. But yeah, these guys. Yeah, they fly around and they cannot see. They bump into everything. One of these guys flew onto the booth on on that day, landed right on my notebook, and me one one of my friends, she's absolutely like terrified of bugs. I think the only bug she doesn't seem to be terrified of is spiders. And then I'm the complete opposite. I think bugs are super neat. I used to be scared of them, but ever since I started taking a little bit of a different mindset, I'm way more cool with them. So let me see if I can pull up the, real quick, let me see if I can pull up the picture of the one that landed on my notebook, because it was really cool. But me and my other friend who was sitting next to me, we were just like, yo, look at that! Because it was really cool. It was really cool that one landed, like, right there. Okay, I took 3 pictures. Here we go. They're not very good pictures because the light was kind of hard to deal with, but you could, like, see it there. Like, look at him! He's just vibing on my notebook. I was content just leaving him there. Because I know my other friend was scared, but realistically, when you don't disturb bugs, they have no reason to fly away, most of the time, so I was perfectly fine just letting him chill there. Look at that! Look at that. I love this guy so much. They're very pretty. But yeah, me and my friend were just like, yo! And we're just like putting our faces like down there like that. Very funny. This is the same friend that I made a mushroom for. I'm so sad. Yesterday, okay, so let me start at Tuesday. Tuesday, I came into work, or I went to the store. I wasn't there for work. I dropped by because I wanted to because I knew both my friends were working that day. But one was leaving at 12 while the other one was coming in at 12, so I just wanted to drop off the mushrooms so that, so they could get it to my other friend, right? Well, I got the mushrooms there for sure. The only thing was that they forgot both of them. So neither of them got their mushrooms in the end. Like, it's so sad because they did have it for a little bit. Like, they did have it, and it was like, oh, that's so cool, right? And we're like talking about it. And then I asked later, like, hey, did they get you your mushroom? And she was like, no, why? Like, you brought it? I'm like, oh no, right? So I go ask, and turns out they forgot theirs too, and I'm like, no! So I figured, okay, well, surely it would just be at the store, right? It would just have to be at the store, right? There's no way someone would have thrown those away, because it clearly was not trash. I go to the store yesterday, they're nowhere to be found in the office or the break room, so I'm just like, what the heck? So I'm like asking around, I'm like asking the shift leader that day, like, can you ask on the manager group chat if they've seen the mushrooms? And I sent like pictures of it. No one responded, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Literally so sad. Like actual tragedy right there. I'm devastated, honestly, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it again, because this time I think me and Johnny figured out a way to get it to dry without cracking so much, because that was kind of a little bit of an issue. My friends said that they liked it with the cracks because it adds character, which I think is so cute, so silly to say. But my God, I'm still just like, man. And I was like really proud of them too, cause Like again, I don't do a lot of like hands-on craft stuff like that, and I think I did a nice job painting it and everything. But you know, what can you do? I gotta ask them. I also was supposed to ask them, um, both when I saw them again, if they had any songs on bass that they wanted me to learn. Cause like I'm just kind of like I'm trying to look for songs, right? Cause I promised the Twitch concert, and as much as I want to make it, as much as I want to make it like an hour long like concert and everything, I don't think I'm gonna be able to learn an hour's worth of songs and be able to play that like all the way through. Because to be honest, I'm still trying to build up like a little bit more stamina in my left arm, especially when standing up, because that means I have to support the bass more. And I'm not left-handed, like at all. Um, so it's a little bit tough, but I don't know. I can probably do like 45 minutes, and um, that might just have to be the best that I can do, because otherwise think I don't think an hour is like really feasible. I think I really only said an hour because um, the people at the summer fair, they would be playing from like 7 to like 9 o'clock. But they did have like 30-minute like intermissions and everything. But it was still like, oh well, maybe it won't be that bad. I do not know an hour's worth of songs though, but I can probably work it up to like 40 to 45 minutes or so. And I think with the 5 string bass as well, um, uh, I have more songs I can learn. Actually, I want to talk about this. So the band that I've been getting into, they're called The Warning. They're super cool. One of their songs is called Disciple. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like play any of it on stream. Uh, but I can send a link to the song in chat. Um, I'll go ahead and send the. Yeah, I'll send the music video. Why not? I'll send this in chat. Um, I want to learn this song so bad. And interestingly enough, there is a way to play it on a 4 string bass. You just have to tune the you just have to tune the E string down to D, and that'll get you that'll get you like the notes that you need. Because the reason why it's on a 5 string bass is because that main riff gets dropped an octave lower, but you can't go an octave lower with just a regular 4 string unless you drop the E string down. Now, playing it on a 4 string bass is not terrible. I think given enough time, I could get it up to speed and everything. But if there was something that I noticed yesterday, testing out the 5 string on my little amp, it is a lot easier to play that riff on a 5 string, and I think that's because when you look at the spacing on the strings on a 4 string, it's versus the 5, it's a lot wider. Like, I think the neck is actually the same size. The frets, I think, might just be a little bit wider, but the neck itself is no wider than my 4 string, which means the strings are just a little bit closer together. And I think that is actually unironically making certain songs a lot easier to play, which is really funny to me. But you know what? I'll take it, because I really want to learn their songs, basically. So I think I'm definitely gonna try for some of those for the Twitch concert. Disciple is very fast, though, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to learn that within a reasonable amount of time, and I don't want to keep you guys... Hang on. Nope, the sneeze is not coming. I don't want to keep you guys waiting on that, because we did just hit it, and it is kind of a big thing. So I think I'm gonna aim to have the concert sometime next week. Probably... I don't know, we'll see. I might add, like, a bonus stream day. I'll make it, like, Wednesday night or something. I think that's what I'll do, because I feel like Tuesday I won't have enough time to prepare, but Wednesday, that might be it. So we'll see. We'll go for, like, Wednesday night. And we'll just go for, like, a little bit. It won't... That way, too, you guys get, like, the full streams on both Tuesday and Thursday, and Wednesday is just kind of like that bonus special, you know. I think I like doing it that way. But yeah. Um, oh, something that I'm gonna have to do before I finish everything. I'm gonna have to like look at an actual bluebell flower and draw those. Uh, I think I have it all right. I think the shape for the wings is honestly all right now. Um, but when I actually have to like paint the flowers in, that's when I'm gonna have to like focus on. I'm gonna try to do the eyes on a different layer real quick. There was just a bang outside my room. I have my door open because I figured maybe my dogs or one of them might like come up here. So I'm just like waiting for that. It might not happen. Let's see, what else did I do that was interesting lately? Work has been like incredibly slow, and normally I'm fine having like my hours cut like a little bit, but it's been like a lot lately. I don't know what's been going on. Maybe people really are just like sick of Carl's Jr. and I can't blame them for that, but at the same time it's like, man, I gotta I really gotta find a way to like earn a little bit extra. Because, you know, I'm paying off that base now because I have it on a pay in 4. It's like, man. Yesterday, I was supposed to go in at 10. I got asked to come in at 11:15, so, you know, had lost a little bit there. And then I left an hour early, so I lost 2 hours yesterday, which is kind of insane. I even left, I planned on staying, like, right about to 4, because I actually had to go to the post office to pick up my base, because I missed the delivery, and it needed a signature. Um, but I was like, if I have to leave at, like, 3, if I can leave at, like, 3:45, that'd be good, but then labor was so bad by 3 o'clock that I just, like, I had to go, and it was just, man. So, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that just yet. I don't know. Part of me always just feels bad advertising commissions, because I guess in my head it's like, maybe I should just be better about spending money, but at the same time it's like, I don't know. I do know, like, I'm not gonna be making, like, any, like, huge purchases after the base. The only thing really that I need now is just, like, the amp so I can actually play it and justify the money that I've already spent. And since we're buying it at a pawn shop, I can't imagine it's going to be, like, terribly expensive. And, you know, if Johnny's going to use the amp too, I think we both agreed to, like, split the cost anyways. So it should work out. But at the same time, it's like, ugh. Either I gotta get those paychecks that I'm missing from my game store, or I really start, like, pushing, like, commissions and stuff like that. But I always feel bad doing that, you know? I don't know. I guess part of me just, like, it's so weird. It's like I want to earn money from my art, but at the same time it's like I don't want to sound annoying or anything like that. I know I wouldn't be annoying, but it's just, because that's just what we do, right? But at the same time it's just like, Okay. So, here's the problem now. How do I move this eye so that it isn't, like, completely obscured by the ear there? Ideally, I can move it down there. Let me see if moving this eye down there also works out. I'm gonna turn this off. Yeah, that's actually fun, I think. So let me just erase that bit. And we'll ignore, like, the sketch there. I think it'll be fine. Yeah. I don't want to ask for, like, subs here either, too. That's, like, the other thing. But I don't know. I just feel bad. Maybe I should work a third job. I know my dad suggested that, but really what it is, like, if I could just get the paychecks from my second job already, that would be so helpful right now. I'm a little scared to tell him that I haven't been paid for, like, quite a few shifts yet, though. Because I'm a little nervous about how he would react. And I don't want him to think they're taking advantage of me either, because the boss is a good man. It's hard running a small business is all. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to convey that to my dad, because sometimes he understands and then sometimes he doesn't understand. And it's frustrating. Alright. Save. Actually, I'm gonna turn off the AC for a bit. It's nice and chilly. I already have to leave it running for like a few hours each night, so I can cool down my room, but I just don't want to have it running so long, because that is electricity at the end of the day. Anyways. Yeah, I'm really liking this so far. I wanted to choose bluebells because Johnny bought like some hand soap not too long ago, and it's got like a really nice scent, and it says the scent is wild bluebells. Now, I've never smelled wild bluebells before, but it is a good scent, and I was like, you know what, it would be nice to have like a blue fairy in here somewhere. We haven't had that color yet. So I think that'll be good. And then I know I'm gonna do red spider lily, because one of my friends at the game store said that I should do red spider lily. And then the last one that I want to do is like some sort of like very deep purpley black flower. But I don't know what that one's gonna be just yet. I'm open to suggestions if anyone has some like cool ones, but the other thing too that's kind of making it difficult, I gotta be able to turn the flowers into like the shape of the flower into fairy wings somehow. So, like, I got away with it with this one. But if I can't figure it out, I will choose a different flower. Let's see. How is this supposed to go? Last night, I think I'm getting, for as much as I hate the sketching process, I think I'm getting faster at sketching, which is actually really nice, because it should mean that I can technically get art out pretty quickly, all things considered, if this sort of upward trend continues, because that's the only thing, right? But all of that being said, I think it should work out in theory. Part of me wants to take a figure drawing class to help with the anatomy, first of all, right? But also, it would mean that I would get even faster at sketching, which would be kind of nice. It's just I don't actually know how to do like at-home figure drawing, aside from looking at porn videos, and I just kind of don't feel like doing that. Oh, someone's outside. I bet that's Clive. Probably getting out of bed and everything. Maybe I should go close my door. 1 second. Go ahead and save too. Anyways, man, I forgot what I was talking about now. Yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about before this. I guess I'll move on to a different topic. Let's go back to the instruments that I have here in my room. So I have two flutes. At some point in my senior year in high school, I thought it would be fun to learn violin, right? Um, so I do have a violin. I never got good at violin. I'm not like like I it is so hard to play. I think bodysuits actually are a little bit more like that, huh? Gotta cover the butt cheeks. God forbid we show. Well, you think anyone's gonna notice? I gotta be careful. I I would allow it, if not for the fact that I think, or I'm not sure if this would be too scandalous to sell, um, at an art market, um, especially because like kids are there, so it's like let me tone this down a little bit. Do let it be known I'm not happy. I think we should free the booty cheeks. Speaking of, I've been meaning to open up, something of an online store. It's really hard to sell prints, at these kinds of markets, and I knew that going in, but I kind of have a lot of prints, and I kind of want to make room for new ones. Actually, I'm gonna leave that other side the way it was, because it doesn't seem like, it's working the way that I want it to. Anyways, so I want to be able to, like, sell my prints, sort of online. Just to make room for new ones is all, so it's gonna be, like, on a first-come, first-served basis and everything. For the most part. Like, if you want to order more, it's like, yeah, that's fine, but, you know, I'm not looking to, do this as, like, a regular thing. So I might just, here, that's what I need to do. I might just, I might make, like, a Google form, like, hey, if you want, like, any of these, keychains and stickers will also be included. And I have no problem, like, restocking the stickers. As soon as the keychains are sold, though, they are definitely going to be sold. So, I'll have, like, a Google form, ready for that somehow. I'll include, like, pictures of, like, the merch and everything, too. Just to make sure, of like, everything. Speaking of, I still have yet to do stock on my keychains, because, the cool thing about all the vending stuff that I've been doing, when I did it the last week, I realized that in this box right here that I have off to my side, maybe that's what that weird thing is. Oh, that is what the camera is catching. Okay, let's turn this a little bit more this way then, so we don't see that. I was trying to, like, put more keychains out on display, and I couldn't find any. And I realized, oh my god, in the stock that I have set aside for these events, I ran out of keychains, or I almost ran out of keychains. I have way more down here though, so it's not like I'm, like, completely out, but it's like that's I've sold a lot of keychains. I think I should have had, like, about 50 on me. Probably 49 because I kept one for myself. So I gotta count and see how much I've sold so far, because it's really exciting to think about that. But, yeah. I should be doing Art Walk again in September. I do have a little bit of a goal to get these Flower Fairy stickers done, before then, but if not, that's honestly okay. So, but you know, we'll see, as always. Yeah, look at that. We're almost done. I don't think we're gonna get this done on stream. I think we're far from that. Still. But I can get this done tonight. I do intend on staying up a little bit late, just to work on this, because I do have the day off of work, surprisingly. They didn't give me my Thursdays back, so it does look like, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep the Tuesday and Thursday streams like this, and if the trend continues that I don't usually go into work on Tuesdays, I'm gonna go ahead and switch both of them to day streams, because I do like the day streams a little bit more than the night streams, because with the night streams, a lot of the times the work day comes after, and I'm like, okay. And the day streams, like, work out too, in a sense, because, my brothers are usually asleep pretty late into the day, and my dad's working outside, so it's like, okay, well, this works out. If I'm just here until, like, my brothers wake up, then, you know, it's not like I'm avoiding anyone or, like, anything like that. I'm excited to buy the amp. I keep thinking about it. Like, I want to go, like, right now, but, I'm gonna do this first, because I do want to have this ready to post, tomorrow. But yeah. I like her, I like her design so far. I wanted to go with something very droopy, very, very, like, because, you know, bluebells are so, like they really do, like, hang upside down, so I wanted to really, like, get that kind of vibe going. I was gonna give her, like, a little bit of a different hairstyle, but then I thought, nah, I like this one a little bit more. And I wanted to give her bell sleeves. I gave her a bodysuit, because, I thought it'd be cute. And I was going to attach more things to it, like, have, like, some drapey stuff, but her wings kind of got in the way of that already. So I was like, best not to overdo it. And then get the sleeve. Another thing that I really gotta start doing is the comic, because it's been over a year. I should really do that. I should have gotten the ball rolling, but I just really wanted to do the art market stuff first. And now that I've done that already, it's like, okay, well, that's one big artist milestone out of my way. Let's get the other one down. So I think I'm gonna try not storyboarding, because it's a comic, not an animation. But I'm gonna, like, toy around with some ideas, just, like, sketch them out, just to see which one sticks, because I think a huge thing that I'm stuck on right now is I don't know how I want to open the comic, but I think I have I think there's been, like, an idea in my head. I'm thinking, like, some sort of, like, radio broadcast, just kind of, like, introducing the world, and I think it'd be really funny to have, like, the team just kind of, like, stuck on, like, what they're gonna call themselves. The interesting thing about the team, too, I think, is this. I didn't, I really tried to make it, like, or something I really wanted to do is I wanted to, really make it seem like, what's it called? On the summary that I have for the comic, I described the Wayfinders as a ragtag team of friends and runaways, and I kind of want that to show, like especially in the beginning, like we just kind of, like, formed this and we're not really sure, like, what we're doing. My idea is Usagi, the leader. She's the leader because she was made by by our cousin who was our dungeon master. So I want her to be the leader because in the same way that a dungeon master kind of leads a group of players towards an ultimate goal, I think making Usagi the party leader is just like a cheeky little nod to that. So the way I want it to be is I want Usagi to have, like, found this group, and this was just like, wait, this would be like a great group to form an adventuring team with, because she wants to be an adventuring team. I think what it is that she's like sort of like a rookie solo, just kind of like looking for a team, but she hasn't found one that like suited her just yet. But when she runs into these people, just kind of like by coincidence and everything, she pitches the idea to them, and they go, you know what? Why not? We all have to earn our keep some way, and I think all of them should also have just like their own reason for like finding a team. Aerie, I know, for example, she doesn't have any like huge goals necessarily. Like of the party, especially in the beginning, her main thing is that she's very chill, she's very lax, but what I mean is like her approach to life is supposed to be very like I just want to do like whatever I want, and but secretly, like despite like running away from her family and everything, she does secretly like yearn to like belong to a group of some sort. Like she's trying to find a place to belong. Hence why one of her fatal character flaws is she's too trusting. Like she's too she's too quick to turn a blind eye. Not exactly naive, but it's like she's willing to if it means like she might be able to find like some sort of like found family kind of thing. So I like her saying yes to it like that. Chino is a werebore, and I think him joining a team for him probably spells like, oh, maybe I can find a cure for my lycanthropy, or like I'll have an easier time doing that if I'm with a group rather than doing this on my own. Stuff like that. Elian and Marius are the rogues of the party. I forget exactly what I have written down for them. I know one of Elian's goals is to get her half-elf brother out of that household, and she's very Elian is very like edgy in a sense like that. She is like one of the edgy rogues that often frequently get made, but I like that her story isn't necessarily about revenge. It's I want to get my brother out of a household that treats him like absolute shit. So she's just looking to like make her own living and get him out of there that way. I still gotta figure out the logistics of like why she wouldn't just take him, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. Marius, I think, is just trying to find himself, so I think in the same sense that like Aerie is kind of like looking for a place to belong in the world, he's also just going to like do that. And then there's Amira. That's Clive's character. She has a whole backstory that's supposed to be entirely like secret when she joins the party. And the big thing with actually I think I'll just paint in those ridges. I don't need to outline that. The whole thing is that she's just looking for like a similar line of work to what she had before, but with like less contracts and a little bit more morality tied to it. So I like the way that they're all characterized. I think it's a really fun like group dynamic, and it's the kind of group dynamic that you'd be able to watch like go from being like kind of just like friendly acquaintances to really being like a strong tight-knit found family dynamic. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I think that's like very typical of like most D&D parties, to be honest. I don't think I've come up with anything like groundbreaking or anything. It is just a very like standard thing that happens at D&D tables. I think. And of course, I'm just overall I'm just excited. I think it'll be good to start. I think it'll even get me out of like the art slump a little bit more too, just like focusing on something that's like a huge like goal rather than focusing on like social media stuff. Like it just sucks because it's like I want to enjoy art a little bit more, but it is frustrating that like the algorithm has been like absolute dog water. So I'm just choosing to like have fun and draw what I can and take it as non-seriously as possible. Because I do try to not let it affect me. But in the end, I'm only human. It will affect me to an extent. It is frustrating. It is annoying. But at the same time, you know, I'm still proud of my art. I still think I make some kick-ass stickers. I still think I'm making some of the best art of my career and everything. So, you know, can't complain too much. Actually, let me follow that outline through. That should be good. Now let's color. Okay, let's look up bluebells. There was one that I saw, I think it's native to California, so I wanted to use that one. But I can be, there we go, California bluebell. Let's look at that one. But you know, they don't actually do the whole, like, droop down kind of thing too much. Okay, we'll choose something else then. I think we're going with an English bluebell. Let's see. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole process, just like being able to like research these a little bit. Or I should, you know what I should do? I should try to find one that matches the wings that I already drew, you know? Because looking at these, I should have looked at more reference when I was sketching this last night. I like this one, but I don't know what kind of bluebell it is. So let me keep scrolling. I might be able to find something. I like how, these are the easy, like, these are some bluebells you could grow, and it's straight up pink. It is so pink. I like this one. I think this is a little bit more similar to what I've drawn, but I don't know what kind of bluebell this is. Let's see. Let's just click on the link. Virginia bluebell, sure. Here we go. This is a really pretty soundtrack. Anyways, yeah, I think these will do nicely. They're a little bit similar to the orange trumpet creeper from last time, but I do like how these look a little bit more. I think they're way more similar to what I have on the screen on my canvas right now than anything else. Anyways, let's do a little color picking now. So, I think the kind of color that I want to have is a sort of a, we're gonna go with a sort of purplish blue, I think. I'm gonna make it light like that. There we go. Oh yeah, one of my coworkers in the staff Discord at the game store, he said he wants to learn an ocarina so he can learn Zelda songs. I have an ocarina and it's got a Triforce on it. The only thing is that I think I lost the little manual on how to play it. And to be fair, it's technically not that hard if you just like figure out the major scale, because really the instruments kind of only play in one key. Which is a little frustrating. But it was fun to play. It's just I never really got the hang of it. And the other thing too, I am the kind of person who does prefer sheet music over just like writing the notes down and spacing them out in the way that they are theoretically supposed to be played. I just think sheet music notation is king at this point. And I'm the same way with bass tabs. Sometimes I look at them and I'm just like, what is this formatting? It's just very, like, it's just one of those silly little things. And I'm gonna go with a very, like, I think a blue like this would be, I'm gonna use the colors of the flower. Oh, maybe sort of like a sort of like more, something a little bit more like this would look very pretty. Because, you know, it's more than just like the color blue. They have like they have like a little bit more in them. So I want to capture that as well. And then I think we'll do like a we'll come back to this one, right? Let me figure out where I want this color. Right about here, I think, for the hair. New Horizons really has like a nice soundtrack. It's just the issue is, for me, all of the hourly tracks just relied too much on their little motif, the little leitmotif that they had going on, and they just ended up sounding so similar. I understand that there was a very specific vibe that they were going for, but I was not having it when I would be playing. So let me go back to this color so I can actually avoid that color. I'm gonna go a little bit more blue, a little bit lighter. A huge thing that you want to do is like avoid colors of like the same, I think, sort of like value or similar values. So I'm opting to go much lighter and a little bit bluer on this, just to really have a little bit more variety in the colors that are being shown here. And then I don't want to do the clothes because that's kind of the last thing now. I think like a soft pink would be nice. Something more like this. Or that's not really a soft pink, huh? That's just straight up purple. Well, I like it anyways. I think this is right about what I'm going for the vibe. Let's see, any other pixels that gotta be colored in? No, but that this right here could be smoothed out a little bit more. Yeah, I like how this looks. Missed a spot though. There we go. And then
I think just a little bit of like a yellow color here would really help bring it all together, and then we'll make the sleeves more sort of like pinkish color. Do I like how that looks? And we'll skew back purple. There we go. Let's get everything. Alright, I think I like how this looks. We'll save. And let's get to the rendering. We're actually getting pretty far, all things considered, because we still have until 2:30. Let's see. Rendering. We're gonna go a little bit more blue. Then we'll darken it. That's a little bit too blue, I think. This kind of reminds me of a Fantasy Life soundtrack. I'm not sure if it is. I don't know if you guys know about Fantasy Life, but Fantasy Life was this, it was this game that was, what was it called? It was on 3D, the first game was on 3DS, and it was so, oh my god, it was one of the best games I had ever played. Yeah, no, this is a Zelda soundtrack. Yeah, there isn't any Fantasy Life in here, it seems. But man, that game was so good. Basically what it was, you had 12, just to put it into more like common terms, you had 12 classes that you could choose from. You could like respec into any of these classes as you pleased whenever. And the whole point of like the game was like you would choose these classes, and it was your job essentially, right? But like the characters were always like so like charming and like whimsical. The world itself was very like silly, and great in so many aspects. And one of my favorite things about the game was that inevitably you would always need to work up to like the other like all of the jobs like really like relied on each other, like and it wasn't all combat. It was like crafting, it was gathering, and it was combat. Those were the three options. Those were the three sort of like major categories of class that you had. So combat included mercenary, paladin, hunter, and wizard. And you'd think like, oh well, you don't really need like those other classes because you're literally just fighting things. Like I beg to differ, because if you made your, let's say you were a blacksmith and you learned how to make swords, you could make there were different quality rankings. So it would be like good quality, great quality, top quality, and then I think with the DLC you could get like a divine quality item, right? Those qualities absolutely like buffed up some stats, and you could even like add like different materials for like different effects. Like there was like this there was a material you could use to increase your critical hit rate. There was a material that you could use so that your ultimate charged faster and everything. There was a lot. So being a blacksmith or a carpenter for like bows and arrows and wands and stuff absolutely like paid off. But then it was like, okay, well, I still need material. Where am I going to find this material? Let me direct your attention over to the Gathering Lives. The Gathering Lives included fishing, mining, wood cutting, and maybe like one more thing, but I'm not remembering it right now. So like that helped you get materials, and there were some materials that were just straight up locked behind. Like you needed to like get it from like this specific like resource spot that was only accessible if you did certain things, and it was a really cool way to have it. So it's like you can really see how each class benefited from the other. It was, I think they did a great job like balancing it, which is really cool. And this was like one of their first. This was like their first game too. Like I don't there was no Fantasy Life before Fantasy Life on the 3DS, as far as I'm concerned. And it may have been like a very like childish game, with some of like the plot lines. Like you're led to believe like there's been a war between these two kingdoms, the one that you come from and the other one. Turns out it was just a prank war between the two leaders, which I think is hilarious. Honestly, that would be like a golden like D&D concept one day. Just like, oh, I'm at war with like these people. Can you send this package to the kingdom? Is like, and it's gonna be like, this is gonna be like my ultimate move. This is gonna be the attack to end the war. And then it turns out it's like a whoopee cushion or something. But yeah, I think again the characters were just like really funny. And even then the like even again for all of its like very like childish nature and everything like that, because it is a very like rated E for everyone game, right? It was really cool to see that like the plot line wasn't afraid to get like a little dark sometimes. I think the big overarching threat was that the world was going to be consumed by an eternal night, because everyone, like, no one was making wishes anymore or something like that. I forget. And there was just like people would be like so scared because a huge X, this huge red X appeared on the moon, and everyone was just like, what could it mean, right? Like, so it was a really good game. They came out with Fantasy Life, or I think it's called like The Girl Who Stole Time or something like that. I've been meaning to play it. I just don't really have a lot of time to play games. So I don't know how it's going to go. I do want to play it though. I'll most definitely play it on stream. And I think there is a DLC coming out for it too, which is really nice. Oh yeah, and also the combat in that game, you'd think it would be like straightforward and everything. It's like, oh, you just like do the. No, their boss battles were actually like so difficult. Especially like their I'm gonna call them raid bosses. Their raid bosses were actually like really difficult. They can hit so hard, and like you needed like some sort of like party to deal with it. Like technically, yes, you can solo it if you just like have enough healing items on you. Like if you were a really good alchemist and you just made some top-notch health potions, you could technically solo it. And I've done it before, but it's not fun. It's not a particularly outstanding like, it's not a difficult game, but it is definitely just like a man, this like they made sure not to pull any punches like with stuff like that. And you could get by too without like min-maxing it too much, but min-maxing arguably was the way to go. When I played, I was like obsessed with having like all of my stats like balanced and evened out. I don't recommend it. I probably wouldn't do something like that ever again now that I know a little bit more about like RPGs and stuff like that, but it's just a whole thing for me back then. But now I think if I went back to it, I would absolutely be like, okay, well, if I'm gonna spec into this life right now, I'm gonna spec all of my like skill points into like again, it was just such a really like in-depth game for like I think the audience that it was really trying to like get to, which was really cool to see. The only thing that like was really sad was that it didn't have that big of an audience like at all when it first came out. And it's criminally underrated game. Like, all things considered. And, like, I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, like, this indie game is so criminally underrated. Like, this is one of the, this was one of the best games I've ever played in my life. And, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That is often true with indie games. Like, sometimes you do find that indie gem, but I think Fantasy Life, for being a level 5 Inc. studio production and everything, like, I think those are the people behind Professor Layton, if I remember correctly. That game should have absolutely 100% gotten more attention. The only thing that I think I personally, like, disliked a little bit was that, for the spellcasting specifically, it was really hard to figure out what enemies were weak to what element. Like, obviously, yeah, if I see a plant monster, I'm gonna start hurling fire at it. If I see a water monster, I'll start hurling the water spells at it. But sometimes it was just a little bit unclear, because it'll be like, okay, well, what do I use against wind then? Rocks? Fire again? I don't know. It's just really hard to tell. And then sometimes it always felt like fire did, like, the most damage anyways, so it was like, why am I even using anything else? And then, another thing that I just kind of, like, was a little sad about with the magic. Earth magic was completely and entirely used for, like, healing. And I understand that's usually how it's going to be in, like, the traditional, like, RPG sense. Like, the plant magic or whatever, that's almost always, like, a support, like, magic or something. It's like, come on, I would have loved to throw rocks at an enemy. And then there were just some other, like, status effects that just kind of, like, weren't super helpful at all. Like, hunters, for example, in the same way that the wizard could, like, change, like, the elements that they cast the magic in, the hunter had different arrows they could use. So there were sleep arrows, poison arrows, and stun arrows. Sleep and poison, completely useless. Sleep, I think, literally only put, like, an enemy to sleep until you hit it. But most of the time you're aiming to kill things anyways, and not really sneak around them, so there was no point in putting an enemy to sleep. The poison did, like, 5 ticks of damage a second, which really isn't a lot, especially when you get to the bigger bosses. Really, the arrow that was, like, the, like, goated arrow, like, across the board was a stun arrow. 'Cause stun would... It wasn't, like, a full stun, it was, like, an enemy could only, like, move, like, at certain intervals, the enemy would get stunned and it would, like, interrupt an attack or something like that. And that was an insanely, like, powerful, thing. Like, this was one of the few games where sleep just did not matter at all. Professor Layton mentioned, yeah! Yeah. I've never played Professor Layton before, but I've heard it's good. I just don't actually know how the gameplay goes. Nor do I even know if there's, like, anything, like, I could play right now without using an emulator. Maybe one day we'll get into it, but, yeah, level 5, I think they're the people behind, they're the company behind Professor Layton, and by extension, they are also the people behind Fantasy Life. If there's anything to glean from this little, like, ramble right now, it is, play Fantasy Life. It is so good, oh my god. Like, once again, I would argue it's up there in one of my top 10 games, just for the way that just for how, like, well built it was, just for how, like, even though it was a very simple storyline, it was a very, like, charming storyline at the end of the day. And once again, great characters across, like, every single character, right? I swear we don't see this in games anymore. Every single character had, like, so much, like, personality going with them. This is, like, it's like with Mystery Dungeon, right? Mystery Dungeon, there's obviously, like, the main story, right? But then you get, like, these side characters that show up periodically, and, like, everyone in town is kind of, like, doing, like, their own thing. But as the story progresses, the NPCs in the town will change, and you'll meet new people, or you'll progress more stories, or everything. Just it it's like all these side things that the developers absolutely did not have to add, but they added anyways. They were so cute. I'm still sad they didn't have a 3DS for the newer ones. The original, or I'm still sad I didn't have a 3DS for the new ones. The original Layton trilogy on the 3DS, absolute joy from my childhood. Oh wow. Well, I do have a DS emulator. Assuming, I do have a DS emulator. We might be able to play Professor Layton on there. I think I have like this. It's not Citra. It was something else. But that's where I was playing Mystery Dungeon. But yeah, yeah, I swear, like, people don't make games like that anymore. Borderlands is another game, I think. Or Borderlands 2, at least. This is another game where they... Citra is for 3DS, I think. Yeah, that's what I think, too. So I don't remember what mine is called. But I know it's, like, a very, like, common one. I think the only thing is that it just hasn't gotten, like, an update, like, at all. So I don't think I can play it on Windows 11, which is unfortunate. But what's it called? Borderlands 2 also, I think, does, like, a similar thing where they create, like, these side NPCs you really, really shouldn't be getting attached to, but you end up doing it, and, like, it's way less so because Borderlands 2, to a huge extent, is a very, like, unserious game half the time, right? But there's just, like, these sprinkles of, like, take like the quest in Overlook, for example, where you're like restoring like power to the town and you're getting everyone like these medications and everything, and there's like this one guy, this one extremely like sexist guy, and they know how to, the writers absolutely knew how to like frame it so that he was just completely unlikable from like every angle. And the woman who's like who's like guiding you throughout this entire side quest, you're rooting for her, right? And finally there's like this huge payoff at the end of the quest where you blow up that guy's house, and it's fucking hilarious. It's great. There's what's it called? And then there's the other side quests with the crystalisks and everything. Like, you try to figure out like what happened to this mining operation out there, and you learn that the crystalisks didn't like that they were getting their crystals harvested, and they absolutely went ape shit on the team, and the team deservedly got like thrown into the ground. But then they even like make a point to have one of the characters. Yeah, that quest is great. There's a lot of great side quests in Borderlands too. It's like, again, it's really well written, like side characters, and in side plots. It's like what an incredible world that universe exists in. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, there is a little adventuring team comprised of a Swallow and a Wurmple called Team Tasty. And the entire time, every time you talk to them, Wurmple's always so scared that his teammate Swallow is trying to eat him, and poor guy takes everything this Swallow says like as a threat. Like, oh, this guy's gonna eat me. This guy's gonna eat me so bad. But then at the end of the game, Wurmple actually like confronts Swallow about it, and it's like, hey, are you trying to eat me? And Swallow apologizes profusely and goes, I wish you said something sooner. Like, oh my god. There are characters out in this game that are having, like, full-on, like, character arcs. And they're not even part of, like, the main story. They're not even part of the main cast of, like, Wigglytuff's guild and everything. It's insane. Like, I swear, again, it's so hard to find, like, developers who make games like this anymore. I'm trying to think about Fantasy Life. It's just, I've only ever played through the story like one time because I got like super invested in like my first file and everything. But yeah, it's I don't know. I just want more games like that. Like more games that aren't afraid to just like completely derail you from your from your main goal. Baldur's Gate, I should talk about that one and how I feel about the side characters there. I think they were interesting, like, enough, but, like, a lot of them I think aren't terribly memorable. Really, I think some of the only, like, really side NPCs I remember, the Myconids. I love the Myconids, but I'm kind of biased towards them. I think in just about every single one of my playthroughs, I will be committing mass murder in their name. Um, but yeah, I really liked the Myconids. Maybe it's my fault for role playing areas just being like really pissed about the whole situation and skipping a lot of early game content. Um, Auntie Ethel is also like pretty memorable. Um, but she was kind of just annoying when I played the game with her, and then wasn't huge on Mayrina at first. So I was like, this person's an idiot, but I love to see like her return in Act 3. I thought that was really cool. But outside of that, I don't have a lot of like strong memories about a lot of the side NPCs. I'm not gonna lie. I think, but I do think it's cool that there was like a lot of, clearly was still like a lot of work put into it. It's just Baldur's Gate 3 is such a big game. I can kind of forgive it a little bit more if if uh if they didn't go like too hard into stuff. It is part of why I really liked Expedition 33. It is an emotional game, but also really weird and funny at the same time. I haven't heard of that one. Not gonna lie. I do kind of live under a rock sometimes. It was really funny. Me, Johnny, and Clive were at this food court here in the city. It's like next to the 99 ranch that got built here. So it's kind of like a newer place, and the food court, it's a little loud in there because it's, you know, it's pretty popular, pretty trendy right now. It's pretty trendy right now to be Asian, I think, because of course it is. But that's besides the point that I'm trying to make here. Point being, it was like loud, so we're like listening, to some songs. We're listening to like the speakers, right? We're trying to at least. And Johnny's like, oh, this is a Red Hot Chili Pepper song. I'm like, is it? I thought this was gonna be like that one song. It was like something Santeria, and he's like, yeah, I thought it was that too. But then I kept listening because I know Red Hot Chili Peppers has a song that sounds like that. Apparently, my dad listens to them. I don't think regularly, like I don't think they're one of his favorite groups, but he listens to them enough to where my brothers were like, yeah, don't you remember Dad played this for us? And I had to explain to them that a lot of the times, I'm not consciously listening to music. Especially when I was younger. Dad would play his songs, and you know, I enjoyed them, but I never really got, like, attached to them until, like, later on in my life. And by later on, I mean, like, a little bit more recently. Where I'm kind of, like, craving, like that more nostalgic sound because it was what my dad used to listen to. But all of that being said, I still have no idea, like, what some of these songs are, so Clive got, like, really upset. Like, what do you mean you don't know what these songs are? And I'm like, I don't, because I was not seeking them out. And I was not, like, I like, just, a lot of the time, it does just become, like, background noise, and I'm just vibing to it. Like, unless I'm really listening to a song, I'm not gonna, like, know, like, what I'm listening to. And Johnny and Clive were just, like, so upset. I'm like, don't you guys do that, too? And they're like, yeah, but, like, are you kidding me? This is, like, one of the songs that Dad used to play. And I'm like, okay, the songs that Dad used to play all the time, when he would drive us around, the ones that I really latched onto was the 80s rock. That's what I like a lot. So those are the ones that I remember way more than the other stuff. And they were just like, huh? Clem was especially like blowing it out of proportion though. It was really funny. But yeah, so that happened in the food court. Another time that it happened was at Carl's Jr. Once again, it involved the Red Hot Chili Peppers because I guess these guys were more prominent in my life than I thought they were. I was telling Johnny like, oh, there's like this meme on my YouTube right now, right? And he's like, oh yeah, you've heard that song before. I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, are you kidding? That plays on like literally every like guitar ad, like, that plays on literally every single like guitar lesson ad that you get on YouTube ever. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't listen to those. And he's like, are you kidding me? So he like goes onto the headset and he's like, Kara, play this song right now over the headset so you and this other co-worker can realize that you have heard this song before. I guess it was like vaguely familiar, but if you asked me what the song was, I wasn't going to know, so it was just like, man. Yeah, but growing up, the songs that my dad listened to, the ones that I really liked, was again 80s rock. Going back to all like the band talk earlier, part of the reason why I joined band back in middle school was because I thought I would be able to learn piano, and there was this one piano solo from a song that my dad listened to. It's like, I don't know the artist because I'm not actively looking for these most of the time. That's just the way it is by Phil Collins. Beautiful piano solo. Oh, this was 90s. Point being though, I really liked this one. And I wanted to learn that solo for my dad. Anyways, cut to over 10 years later, probably 13 years later now. I still don't know how to play the piano, and I still don't know how to play the solo. We do have a keyboard now, though. Johnny got a keyboard for free because someone was just giving it away. And it was just like, oh my god, we need to capitalize on that right now. So we went to go pick it up one day. It's nice, it's just, it doesn't have like the kickstands for it, so right now it's just kind of sitting on a cardboard box. And that is the best we can do until we figure that out. I don't know how much he's been using it, but he did say that it has been like very helpful in understanding chord progressions and music theory a little bit more, because he does want to write music as sort of a side thing. And it's like, that's good. I don't know if I ever intend on using it. I don't even know if I still want to learn piano necessarily. But I really want to learn, actually. Because when we were talking a little bit more on like being a band and everything, me and my brothers, I personally really wanted to learn drum set. Not just because I thought that drum set would be fun. I just thought the prospect of hitting things would be great. Because, you know, who doesn't like hitting things? I like hitting things, and I thought it'd be really fun to learn. Anyways, cut to now. I mean, I love bass, don't get me wrong. I really, really love bass. But I still want to learn drum set, so, me and Johnny were, like, thinking about that. But now Clive also wants to learn drum set, too. So now that all three of us want to learn drum set, it's like, okay, we gotta figure this out. We gotta clean up the house a little bit more so we can make space for a drum set. Personally, my suggestion was just to get an electronic one, because one, it'll help with, like, noise and everything. Like, we don't want to be too loud at night, right? But also, I think if you get an electric one, it'd be way easier to find something that's more low profile, because, you know, this is still our parents' house at the end of the day. As much as I'd love to take over an entire room and turn it into an art studio and art and music studio, because I think it'd just be good for, like, the three of us to have that. you know, still don't want to like overreach and everything. Uh, so there's that. Um, I was making a joke when me and Johnny and Clive were talking about this. As soon as Clive said he was like gonna learn drum set and everything, it was just like, okay, Clive, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy a drum set behind Johnny's back, and I'm gonna put it in your room. And then Johnny was like, well, actually, if you do that, Kyra, I'm gonna go into Clive's room. I'm gonna take it while he's asleep, and then he'll wake up and he'll never know that the drum set was there in the first place. It's like, this is how we joke around at home. It's very fun. But yeah, so I want to try and get Clive on that right now. I think, but I still think Johnny would like to form a band. I just trying to explain to him like, hey, even if I don't like Midwest emo as a genre that much, like I'm pretty like indifferent to it, honestly. Um, I like at the end of the day, I do like being able to come up with like bass lines and everything. I'm just not super good at it yet, but I think I could be, and I enjoy, uh, like whenever Johnny like pulls up songs that he thinks I like, um, I immediately what I start doing is I start trying to find the notes to the chords and trying to figure something out because I think that's fun in and of itself. Like yeah, I like playing music that I enjoy, but I also think just like improvising and working on that like that little skill there is a lot of fun. So I think he'll be like more open to it as usual. It's just I'm not great at memorizing stuff just yet, especially if I make it up. Um, Now that Clive wants to learn drum set too, we'll hopefully get like a couple more percussion stuff in. One thing that I did suggest though is that if we really want to do this whole band thing, we need to learn how to play together first. And rather than like have the three of us choose some sort of song to learn together, we should choose songs that our dad likes. And we finally came up with one together. We're gonna play One Headlight from the Wallflowers for Father. And we settled on that one because Clive distinctly remembers that our dad wanted to perform this song for our mom one day. I don't think that day is gonna happen, but we will certainly be stealing his thunder on that. I've already started learning the bass line a little bit. It's not too bad, it's just a little fast, and I think there's some parts where I'm just going to have to, like, do my own thing, because, I'm not exactly there yet. And I also think, too, because it's only three of us, I'll probably, like, play some of, like, the lead stuff, just because I think Johnny's a little bit more of a rhythm guitarist rather than a lead guitarist, and that song, while it is still super, super acoustic, does have some lead parts in it, so, we'll see. We still gotta rehearse together, we still gotta learn, and we still gotta get Clive something to play. We were thinking, I don't remember what kind of instrument it's called, but we were thinking it's like the wooden block that you sit on and you play, and that's what we'll have Clive do rather than get him an entire set, because that's already going to be pretty expensive, and I just bought my 5-string, and Johnny's also trying to save money, so we're gonna work up to stuff, but for now Clive can learn that other thing. And I encouraged Clive to learn an instrument too, because while he is just like his big goal right now is he wants to DJ. I told him, well, that's fine if you want to DJ, Clive, but you need to have some sort of musical backbone, whether it's learning actual theory or learning an instrument if you want to DJ, because it's more than just like slapping two songs together, changing the keys so that it matches, and going off of that. Like, yeah, you can do that, but you're gonna find I think it's just better to know an instrument, and I want him to learn an instrument, so he'll have like another hobby that he can indulge in, you know. And we settled on drum set because that's what it seems like he wants to learn right now. So there's that. I'm gonna see if I can take him to the pawn shop with me and Johnny. It's just the only thing is that if the base doesn't fit in the trunk of my car, it's gotta go in the back. But it absolutely fills up the entire back of my car, so I'm not exactly sure how Clive's gonna ride in that. How Clive's gonna ride with us if that's the case. But I guess we'll see. I'm excited though. I'm excited to get that amp. Probably choose like a relatively cheap one. Just cause it, I'm not looking to buy more expensive stuff. It's just, I do kind of need an amp to play bass. Johnny can kind of get away with, or guitar, even like electric ones, you can kind of get away with it because, the way we're built, we have an easier time hearing like more higher pitches. That's usually why in bands and everything, it's not like baritones or tubas or sousaphones or anything, or trombones usually get taking the melody. A lot of the times it's the upper woodwinds, the trumpets and everything, because we have an easier time hearing those notes rather than the really low ones. So even like an unplugged like electric guitar, you can hear that like no problem, right? But on the bass, no, that is not the case. I need an amp, otherwise I can't exactly hear what I'm playing, especially if I have the AC going. So definitely need it. Definitely really excited to get the amp too, because it does. I bet Johnny's excited to an extent too. We might even like splurge a little. We might be able to find some pedals for him so he can start getting more like more effects in there. I bet he'd like that. I just don't exactly know much about buying pedals, but you know what? I'll leave that to him because he's the expert on that, not me. Oh, another thing, actually. Me and Johnny were talking about this a little bit ago. I'm gonna start with the hair, actually. So a while, or not a while back, but like a decent, like, week or 3 weeks back or so, this guy started showing up in my recommended feed. I think his name was like Danny Sapko or something like that. He's, he is also a bassist. He is also a bassist, and so of course he's been showing up in my feed and everything because, yeah, and I think he went to this punk concert, and this is where I learned about this. Apparently, there was a thing. Kind of was. We'll put it that way. Kind of somewhere between the past and present, somehow, called Lace Code. I guess it was specifically for Doc Martens or something like that. And it was just like this really, really weird set of rules regarding like the color of your laces. But it was like so like inconsistent. Like yellow, if you wore yellow laces, for example, that meant you were either anti-racist or anti-Pakistani, and it's just like, huh? Like, where's the cohesiveness in that? The reason why this whole lace code thing got brought up into the question was, he wore red and white laces, and the red laces can mean anything from you're an anarchist, you're a communist, or, you're a white supremacist, which all three of those things are like, I feel are very, very different from each other, you know? And then the white laces just straight up meant white supremacy. But the thing is that he was explaining he chose red and white because his entire color scheme that he goes with for his brand is black, red, and white. You know, like a very, very standard color scheme. You know? So it's like, there were just people calling him out like, this is this guy secretly a Nazi? Is this guy secretly a white supremacist? No, he wore those laces because red, white, and black slaps as a, like, goes so hard as a color combo. Like, what the fuck? So I was just surprised to learn that. And I guess as a person who was unaware of this before and has learned about it now, I think it is one of the stupidest things that I have ever heard. Especially with how inconsistent, like, some of the colors are. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever, like, heard and read about. Like, and, like, so many people in the comments were, like, saying, like, the same thing. Like, lace code died out, like, a while ago in, like, most places, especially in, like, the UK and Scotland. And then, just people, like, again, pointing out the inconsistencies. There was one comment, it was, like, controversial take, but I think that if you wear, like, the white laces, it just means that you like the color white. And if you wear red laces, you just like the color red. And if you wear orange laces, you just like the color orange. It was just what? It was just like, yeah, no, literally, that's what it should be. You wear the color, you choose the color of your laces because it either one matches your outfit or two, you like the color. I'm just like so perplexed and confused as to how maybe I wouldn't mind so much if it was like a little bit more consistent, but it isn't. It, like, if you're telling me yellow is somehow both anti-Pakistani and then also anti-racist, no, that's not how that works. But once again, thankfully, it does seem like for the most part, it is just kind of like a trend that died out for the most part. It's just like these small pockets of people who still like believe in it. I think. But it's great to know that the color of your shoelaces can make you a target for internet cancel culture. Wonderful. I think if you're like getting like what's it called? Like riled up about the color of somebody's shoelaces, you need to step back and reassess everything. I don't mean that lightly. I feel like the internet is so, like, strange these days. It's just, everything is a mess. But you know what, it is what it is. Speaking of everything being a mess, too, YouTube's whole, ID verification thing should have also rolled out as well. I haven't gotten, like, flagged for it yet. I think, not that I'm watching 18 plus content, but I think the content I'm watching should verify that I'm adult. And I think part of the little AI algorithm, whatever that they're using to mark some people as potentially a child. I think my account has existed for long enough to where it's like, okay, there's no way this isn't an adult, right? So I think that's another thing that it checks. So I think I'm good there, and I'm hoping I'm good there. That being said, I'm probably just gonna end up, like, using YouTube less, because this is, like, stupid. Anyways. I'm liking how this is looking so far. I think I can definitely get the shadows done before the end of stream, because we still have about an hour left. Then we can move on to highlights, and then that'll be the flowers again. I don't think we're going to finish it entirely on stream, but we might if I'm, like, fast enough. But I do tend to get, once again, a little silly and a little distracted. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, another thing that I gotta figure out for the bass concert. I need to figure out how I want to set things up, because, Discovery, my acoustic guitar that I have in my closet,
I had to move my acoustic into my closet to make room for my bass, and to be fair, I don't play regular guitar that much anyway, so this is not all that tragic, really. Um, Surprise, it is actually tuned, and I don't have to be scared of retuning it, because I'm always afraid of the guitar strings snapping, because when Johnny took lessons a long time ago, his original instructor said that you need to be careful because these strings can snap under enough stress, and they can cut people, and I don't really want to get hurt. Maybe that's a bold take, but I think it's valid. I think it's pretty valid to be afraid of getting hurt. I have a decently high pain tolerance, but I don't want to get cut up by a guitar string. So there's that. Anyways. But yeah, so with that being pretty much in tune, I'll probably like check with the tuner again just to make sure it's like really there. I think I want to bring it out for a little bit for one song during the concert, so and I want to do the same with the 5-string as well. I really like want to play as many, or not, I guess not necessarily play as many instruments as I can, but I do want to be able to bring stuff out and show off, you know? I think I deserve to show off. Maybe I don't have a lot to show off, but I'm going to show it off regardless. So there's that, and I think it would be nice to bring out the guitar, because there is one song out of like everything that I know how to play. I can play one song, not all the way through. I can play one part of a song pretty much all the way through. I can sing along with it, but I probably won't be singing. Point being, I need to figure out how I want to set up the instruments so I can like grab and switch them around with ease. I do want to make sure everything goes as seamless as possible, so chances are over the weekend I'm gonna be rehearsing. That's kind of a crazy thing to say. I'm gonna be rehearsing for that. Oh wow, I've not used that word in a while to refer to myself and music. Wow. So I'm gonna do that, and then thinking about it last night too, when I was talking about like all the goddamned instruments we have in this house. I think I do want to pick up some of my old instruments again. I want to play flute. I think I should learn violin, because I have it. And I think I can handle it. I think my fingers are a little bit more resistant to the strings now. There's definitely a little bit of like calluses going on there. So I want to do that. So I think that's gonna be like one of my next big goals. I think I'm just gonna pick up a bunch of instruments. And honestly, if Johnny wants to produce like Midwest emo music, I think, you know, if I can't play the bass, I've got plenty of other options, and by plenty I mean two. But you know, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun to learn. The only thing is with the violin, again, is I'm not sure if it's just because the violin that I have is a little cheap, or if it's because I'm stupid, but I do not like the tone quality all that much. But I'm sure if I like workshop it a little bit more, if I actually look up tutorials, I can get there. I think my only issue would be finding like songs to play, because I really kind of only have my scales right now. I probably have my old lesson book somewhere. I just don't really know where it is. It might be with the rest of my music theory notes, honestly. But yeah, with all the instruments we have in the house, you should either sell them or learn them, and I think I'm on board with learning them. Because it'd be nice. And it'd be nice to pick up the flute again. One of the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtracks, Bard Dance. I think that would be insanely fun to learn on flute. And another thing that I always wanted to get,
I never did this because once again it after after I graduated high school, just never really had a reason to pick up my flute again. I would love to get a piccolo one day. If you don't know, a piccolo is just kind of like a tinier flute that's can play. It's basically a flute but an octave higher, and flute already can reach some pretty insane octaves. So the fact that a piccolo like is that, it just takes things like even higher is hilarious to me. Um, I played it once in high school, but I never got the chance to actually like use it. Other people were much more proficient at playing that instrument than me because that thing is so hard to tune, but so like fun to play at the same time. There we go. Let's see. I'm also hungry. I've been like hungrier lately, which again is arguably a good thing, but it's like frustrating to me every single time because it's like I don't know what to eat. I'm very indecisive when it comes to these things. And then sometimes too, if I think too hard about like eating, I'll want to throw up. So I'll just end up like not eating a lot anyways in the first place, and then it's just this whole cycle. But I am hungry. I'll probably get like lunch or something after we go to the pawn shop. Or even I'll just like get a snack before we go. I hope we have like cheese crackers still. Those have been like kind of nice to like just kind of like snack on because they're very light. They're very like I don't think too hard about eating them. And then I'll do the wings last. I'm gonna go ahead and do these sleeves. I think it's a little bit too purple actually. Might be a little bit too dark too. Yeah, still a little bit too dark for what I'm going for. That's a lot better. Usually I say go extreme with like these shadows, but this is such a light shade of pink that honestly like anything would have been like, well actually no, it could stand to be like a couple values darker. Yeah, there we go. And fill this in. Yeah, I'm liking this fairy a lot so far. Part of me was thinking for the bass concert I should ask you guys like what songs I should learn, but I kind of am also worried that like if I tried learning them, maybe some of them will be a little bit too difficult. So holding off on that, but I will take some suggestions from my friends if they're easy enough. And of course that isn't to say that I'll like never learn them, it's just I want to learn them for the concert. So that's like kind of a huge thing. Because again, it happened like way sooner than I thought it would. Like huge thank you, huge shout out to Starlight Datura. They gave a little shout out in my Discord server, and then all of a sudden they were just like here in the chat, and we got to 98 followers. I was like, okay, so we didn't exactly get to 100. That's probably fine. They did like the bulk of like all of that, like the remaining goal, and then last time Yasuze raided us and got us like the extra followers that we needed. So now this concert should be happening like a lot sooner than I thought it would. So, yeah. Oh boy. I'm also just a little bit worried. There's one song in the like all the songs that I have so far, I'm very comfortable playing, right? The thing is that there's just one song. I can play most of it. I can play most of it, right? Like, that's not really a problem. There's like a weird bump on my head and it's like bothering me. I can play most of it. The issue is, it's just there's one run towards the end of the chorus that I am struggling so much with. I can play it just fine if I play it, like, without the song, but somehow playing it with the song is, brutal. So, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to handle that, but handle it I shall, somehow. But, I mean, I think I have, like, a really nice spread for songs, and I know exactly how I want to end the concert, too. I think the only other thing that I really want to rehearse is just, like, having a better stage presence. Because, you know, I don't just want to be, like, standing here playing and just be like, yeah. Like, I want to have fun with it, too, right? So, just kind of working a little bit on that is also, like, a good thing, I think. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes, because I'm not entirely... how do I say this? It's not like I'm gonna be dancing, but it's gonna be, like, similar... Like, it's, you know, that's just kind of how it is. Like, half the performance is just, like, how you carry yourself. So, trying to keep that in mind as well. It's just, there's gonna be some parts where I'm really gonna have to, like lock in and focus, because it'll be, like, a part that's, like, either, like, kind of difficult or, like, super uncomfortable to play. I gotta practice standing up for, like, some of these songs. Probably gonna have to move my chair, too. Which is gonna be a little bit awkward in this space right now, because there's just not a lot of space. Part of me feels like I should, like, toss out my couch and get, like, an even smaller bed. But I don't think it's gonna save as much room as I think it would, so... the couch stays. Let me just... get rid of the background, too. Just so I can see what I'm erasing. But I'm excited. So hopefully we'll be doing that on Wednesday. I'll probably have an announcement in the Discord server for when it's happening. The other thing that I gotta test too is I need to see, like, if I do, like, the whole audio separation thing, if I can still have it, like, recorded somehow, essentially. Because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna do this VOD, right? Or it's gonna upload a VOD, but I think the way it's gonna work is that the VOD is not gonna have the backing tracks to it. And, you know, I'd like to be able to come back to this concert, you know, just to, like, measure progress, maybe even just, like, enjoy and, like, hear how I sound, because a lot of the times I don't actually, like, record myself and hear myself. It's only for when, like, I want to, like, post the funny bass videos, right? Or the funny bass covers. So that's, like, the only time I really get to hear myself. So I think, like, it'd be nice to do that for the concert. It's just, again, if the way that I gotta separate the audio means the VOD won't get it, I need to find a way to actually have it. So I don't know, maybe I'll have, like, my laptop and it's, like, screen recording the thing or something, if it has the space for that. I don't know. I'm gonna do some tests, that's for sure. I can't promise the concert on Wednesday, but I can promise the concert relatively soonish, hopefully. I think we'll do the concert at night, too, just because it'll be a lot cooler in my room. The lighting will be a little bit better. Like, I won't have the big, heavenly glow behind my head that I have to block constantly. So we'll do that. I just, once again, I just don't know how, entirely how this is gonna go just yet, but it's getting there in my head. And then, of course, since I want to play, like, some other different instruments, whether it's, like, switching over to my 5-string or a little bit of the acoustic, I do want to make sure that I have the instruments arranged in such a way that I can like switch to them when I need to with relative ease. So that's gonna be a whole thing. And it's all gonna be like just like a struggle, right? It's going to be scuffed. I think I'm just going to have to accept that. But you know, it is what it is. I gotta see about like headphone stuff too, because the wired earbuds might get in the way. I might need a Bluetooth adapter for my headset, and we'll try using that. I don't know. Alright. And there's like, actually on the pedals, there's a little bit of like pink on them, so I'm going to dust in a little bit of like pink color in there. Just kind of like scattered around. I don't know how visible this is going to be when I print it, but for the sake of like having it like digitally, I think I do want this here. And I need to make sure I don't have it like bleed into the other spots too. Oops. Alright, I think that's good. So now let's get on with highlights. It is 1:42 right now. Man, they're making like some really good progress. I can definitely finish this tonight, no problem whatsoever. So let's see. I'll make sure I finish it tonight too, instead of like goofing off and everything. I know that's what happened with the orange trumpet creeper, but here we are. I will try not to be nearly as distracted today. I just be distracted all the time. Man, I am hungry. I'm so sorry if you can hear my stomach. I should have eaten more than like one piece of ruby bread today, but it's okay. Anyways. Let's see. Concentrate this color just a little bit more towards the bottom there. Now we go here. Thankfully, like, the palette here is actually, like, pretty light, so I think don't really need to adjust the shades all that much. I just need to make sure, like, it's not, like, glowing, like, bright. I just need some good old regular highlights, as I usually do. A lot of the times when the skin is, like, very, like, pale, I'll actually, like, use a darker color to go over the skin like this, because otherwise it's really just like if I do that, you know, it's just gonna end up like that. But this one looks like if I just lay on the color lightly enough and balance and blend it as well as I can, it looks like it's not going to be too much of a problem, so that's good. Then add a little bit up here, maybe a little bit right here. Have a little bit of a rim light going here. But yeah, I like how this is looking a lot, actually. I think it's really pretty. The wings almost look translucent, which I think is a cool touch. The petals themselves aren't, but you know. I'm gonna try and like draw these so like they're really drooping from the sides, so it should be pretty easy to paint them in. The flowers themselves, not the wings. I didn't sketch them last night because my phone was low on battery, and I don't really like using Safari on my iPad for some reason. So I figured, okay, well, when it gets to that point, that's when I'll actually like look at the references and everything. nice thing about the fairies is that it's just nice to be able to have like something like super simple at the end of the day. Um, like I know I was talking before, like sometimes it's just nice to have like a drawing without like any like worries about like background and how the characters is gonna fit into them, or how the lighting is going to work and everything. Sometimes I think it's just nice to have like stuff like this. And maybe it's been a lot of my work recently. Maybe I haven't been getting like doing like super complex stuff, but right now I think this is just what I need. Just very simple things of art. Especially because like I'm considering like opening up an opportunity for another community poster. I think I've known for a bit now that I want my next community poster to be like based off of like tieflings and everything. Just kind of like living like an everyday sort of life. But I gotta come up with a background for that is the issue. So trying to figure that out. I'm thinking tieflings at like a little like community park, talking about like horn care. Maybe some of them racing each other, or maybe we're all on like an adventure. Maybe actually it's a mosh pit. Maybe it's that. You know? Say what you want about emo tieflings, they're once again way more like punk leaning to me. Anyways, get some of this in here. Once again, I've been trying to add a little bit more depth and everything to my shading, and I think it's been going like pretty well, all things considered, because there's like a ton of details in here that I normally wouldn't add, but I'm adding in now. I think it makes for like a really cool effect. I think it's like a nice balance between like the ink and the rendering. Right, because it's like now it looks like that hand is a little bit more 3D than it is 2D, which I like a lot. Arguably, I could just maybe one day I could like get good and like completely forgo the outlines, but I think the outlines is like really one of like the most defining things about my art style, and I refuse to let it go. So that just means I gotta find a way to work around stuff. And I'm okay with that. I think that's one of like the cool things about art. I'm glad I've adopted like a very like different attitude when it comes to like any like creative like endeavor that I've been going through. I feel like a lot of it has used to be like no, I probably can't. It's probably out of my thing. But now it's like, well, maybe it's out of my skill range for now, but if I just work my way up there, I can absolutely achieve that. And I think a lot of this kind of like boils down to like the whole like make art accessible for everyone kind of thing. That's like a rhetoric that a lot of AI quote-unquote artists like to use. Like, oh no, this is why it's okay to use AI, because it makes art accessible to everyone. Well, I'd argue that art is accessible to everyone, you just gotta find a way to do stuff. I think hearing no you can't is you don't realize like how like demoralizing it is until you see it in like full effect and everything. Like you see it with these people. I guess they like maybe all their lives they feel like they've never been like good at art, and like they feel like they'll never get to that point. Maybe someone told them that they'll never get to that point, and I think that's ridiculous. Look at me. I've never taken an art class in my entire life. But I still forced myself to learn. I'm not saying that everyone has to have time to like learn to do art. I think a lot of it just comes from like wanting to be that good. I don't think you need to be that good. I'm not even that good. All things considered, you know? I can't make like the super pretty like 3D painted portraits because I legitimately just don't know how. Part of it is also because I don't necessarily care to learn, but you know, it's like I don't need to be that good. I'm very happy with like where I am right now. Obviously, I do want to get better and I do want to keep improving. I think you should always strive to keep improving. But I think there's also merit in recognizing, like, hey, I should be happy with like my current skill right now too. Even if I was like a beginner artist, I think I should be happy with. I think it should be happy with that. You know, like if I gotta use stick figures to convey some idea in my head, then so be it. I'm going to use those. I'm gonna fucking use those stick figures. You know? I think we should normalize the idea that all art doesn't have to look insanely pretty and be like this grand thing that you can like show off all the time. I think the fact that people make it themselves is already like something to show off. You know? Whether it's like a doodle at the side of like class notes, or just like maybe you're just absent-mindedly like doing it on like a receipt or something. You know, the fact that you even think about doing that in the first place is already like great, I think. You know, like if somebody wanted to start a small business and they didn't have an artist to do that and they just had to resort to like doing like a little stick figure doodle, that's great. I think that's great. I think we should normalize that. Maybe it won't get like the most views, maybe it won't be like the most reputable, but I think sitting down and taking the time to like make something, even if it is just like a quick 5-second thing, I think there's a special charm to that. We don't all have to be like insanely skilled artists. We don't all have to be like spectacular at something. I think the fact that people even make things to begin with is incredible, regardless of skill. And that's kind of where I'm at with like the AI art thing. Once again, I feel like I gotta talk about this a lot because it's just something that means a lot to me. Art, everything is so like capitalized now. Everyone's like, I feel like everyone is just trying to find a way to like make money off of like something, right? And no shame in that. That's just kind of the world that we live in, unfortunately. But I think the idea that like all art has to like look so good, and like if you need it, like the shortcut to that is AI, and this is how you're gonna get clicks, this is how you're gonna get profile views. I think that's ridiculous. Like yeah, art. Like I do wish art could be my full-time job, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, I'm not gonna sit here and expect to love everything that I draw, because you know, that's just what it is. You know, if I don't like it, some other people might like it, and I think that's neat. The approach that I want to have to my stuff is like I don't necessarily want it to become like full on a business as much as it would be kind of cool to be like a full-time artist. I just think people seeing it is enough, which is why I really kind of bank on like the reposts and everything, but you know, what can you do? Alright, that's the hair. Got a little over 30 minutes left of stream. We're making good progress. I'm enjoying this. I can't wait to do the spider lily, and I also cannot wait to do like the very like dark fairy. I think there's going to be a fairy for almost everyone. I've like covered most of the colors, I think. I think really the only colors I'm like majorly missing might be kind of like yellow, but you know, it's okay. I still don't even know if like 6 fairies are gonna fit on like that printed sheet in the first place. I hope they do. I really do hope they do. But you know, no guarantees there. I still wish I had like a way to make sticker sheets. Still didn't get a cricket, because it does kind of seem like individual stickers sell the easiest. It's just, I don't like the size that I gotta cut them out. I should get some sort of cutter at the end of the day. That would be way more helpful, but here I am spending the money on something else instead. It's okay, I really wanted the 5-string bass. I wanted it more than the Cricut cutter. Then, here we have some spillover with the color. I'm gonna try, once again, I need to try and make sure that like there isn't too much bleed, otherwise it's gonna mess with like making the border later on. Like right there, that's another one. We'll just clean it up when we're done. That's probably gonna be easiest. I won't go too hard on the highlights for the sleeves because it's already like a really light shade of pink. Something like that, I think, and then the same thing over here as we do. Let's switch back over to my creator dashboard. I'm gonna aim for Wednesday. I'll practice really hard on bass over the weekend. Probably means there's gonna be less like finished art like this again, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. We have other important things to be doing, like getting good at the songs that I'm supposed to be playing. Alright. And then the last thing is just going to be the bodysuit and the wings, and that's not going to be too bad at all. Right here, I'll go 500 actually, that's probably a better brush size. The reason why I have it so big like this usually when I'm like working, even though like I'm realistically I should be using a smaller one, it's because I'm not trying to go like full opacity on it, which means I gotta ease up on the pressure, which means I gotta change the size so that it's also the right size. It's a whole thing. I used to hate like pressure sensitivity when I first started like doing more stuff like this. But that was back when I was using the airbrush to render my stuff, and I didn't understand how important it was until I started using the acrylic brush more. And I was like, oh, this is so much better, and like I don't have to worry about how smooth it is. I don't have to worry about like these things, and like yeah, I still like smooth things out here and there where I can, but it's like even less so now. And the only thing that matters to me is that like the like the essentially the brush strokes make sense, right? Like that's the big thing that I'm always like looking for with these things. So now let's just darken that actually a little bit, just to have some color in there, not just straight up white. And then I'm gonna have to do the same thing with the pinks because I think it's just going to get a little lost if I put like the blue over it. Yeah, so I'll put like a layer over that. Or maybe it's not too lost, actually. Maybe I don't need to. Once again, just gotta be a little careful with how I do things. there's some more spillover here. Because of course there is. There we go. Nope. There's still a bit. Oh boy. It's okay though. It doesn't seem to be as bad as last time, at least. So hopefully making that border won't be too bad. And honestly, it might even be like so small a difference that I might not even notice, but we'll see. Alright, and I think I like how that looks. We're just gonna go to the pink now. Just kind of like really like put those in there too. No, I've never played Ocarina of Time. I don't know what it was about like the Zelda games, but I feel like there just wasn't that many of them on like the little like DS and 3DS systems. Or at least there wasn't really like a lot on the DS systems, it felt like to me. And by the time the 3DS came out, I just wasn't super interested in the franchise, I think. So that's what happened there.
Right. So with the last 30 minutes, we're gonna paint one of these bluebells. We're gonna hope that it goes well. Real quick, let me rearrange the wires. Yeah, definitely gotta figure out the wire situation for the concert, because if I'm gonna be moving around, honestly, the earbuds probably aren't gonna be the best call. I think my headset, though, I have a different Bluetooth headset. I can wirelessly plug that in, and that honestly might be a little bit better. Oh, hello! Esri Arts, thank you for the raid! Hello! Sounds like you're an artist too. Well, I hope you had a wonderful stream. I hope you got a lot done. I hope you got some good art going on your end. I am doing wonderful. You have just, we were coming up on the end of some art myself. This is gonna be a little sticker that I'm making. Oh, that's great to hear that you got some good art done. Love to see it. All right, let's start painting these bluebells in. So, to catch you up to speed, let me open up the other file. I've been doing a little bit of some art market stuff. I've already like sold at a few events here and there, but I wanted to make some more stickers. So the stickers that I'm doing right now are these little flower fairies. Hello James, good morning. Pretty, thank you. Yeah, so this one's based off of Star Jasmine. This one's based off of Plumeria. This one's based off of an orange trumpet creeper. We're doing a bluebell right now. But yeah, I guess to even oh, thank you for the follow, Ezri. My eyes haven't cleared out. Oh my god, you take care of that, good sir. Let me give you another follow back too. Make sure we do that. And let me do that to the other raider that was here last time. To catch you up to speed as well, we did hit our 100 follower goal, which means the base concert is happening. Yeah, of course, I'm happy to follow. I should follow the other person back too. Let me do that real quick. It's a little bit hard sometimes because I always forget how Twitch works. Yeah, GG's. Yeah, so I'm thinking Wednesday we're gonna have the concert. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it exactly. Maybe we just end up doing it on Discord, honestly. No, that's no fun. We're gonna do it on Twitch. I bet you haven't watched the vid. You would be correct on that. I'm gonna test some things over the weekend. I was doing Choso fan art from JJK. Oh, I see. I'm not huge on anime, but I do vaguely recall that JJK is a bit of a very popular anime, if I'm correct. Yes?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with a lot of animes, so sometimes it's like, what is this? But yeah, I am aware that it's very popular. Well, if you do have a link to the fan art, I would like to see it. I would love to show it off on stream. Let's see. In the meantime, while you do that, I'm gonna figure out how I'm supposed to do this. Did I have spots where I was gonna mark off where the flowers were gonna go? No. Wonderful. So we're just gonna fuck it, we ball.
Oh, wonderful. Discord link. Oh my god. It does work. Hang on. Oh my god, look at that. Ah, oh, this is so pretty. Look at that rendering. Ooh, and the colored outlines too are a really nice touch. It's so like, it's so well shaped and so well defined. Oh my god. Oh, and look at his eyes. Very sparkly. Oh, and I like that you didn't make the sclera white too. I tend to make my scleras white just because it's simple, and that's part of the style for me. But this is nice. This is like a nice little touch there. And the hair. Ooh. Thank you. Think I haven't made art in a while, so I'm out of practice on my rendering. Nah, this is great. This is great. I've been trying to do like more like shape and definition with my rendering, so like seeing this is impressive. It's still a whip? Oh my god. Well, I mean, if this is how you're like rendering like the body and everything, cannot wait to see how you're gonna do the hair. Oh my god, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Anyways, yeah, love to see that you got like a lot done. That was great. That was great. We should do more raids here on the stream. It's just I never know who to actually raid, and I usually gotta like dip pretty soon too, and I feel bad. But yeah, anyways, to catch people up.
Now, I've always wondered if a generally thick or thin in between top lip was generally attractive. I said generally twice. Mood. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have huge opinions on like lip sizes or anything. Because I try not. I don't think about it too hard, right? But sometimes some people really do have like either like very very like thick lips or like very very thin lips, and you just can't help but notice, and it's just like, huh, how interesting that looks like that. This painting is not going. This little painting process is not going as well as I hoped it would. Okay, it's actually way more of like a birdcage dress shape, so I'm gonna thin this part out a little bit. Let it be known that I am terrible at painting, but I'm sure we will get there somehow. Oh my god. Maybe I'm just getting a little impatient. I'm gonna put this on. My lips are generally this. Hey, you know, that's not a bad thing necessarily. What drawing program is this? This is Medibang Paint. I initially used Medibang because it was free and it had just about everything that I needed for my things, but as soon as I started streaming and wanted to use the cloud features a little bit more, so I had an easier time working on art. Like when I'm in like different spots in my house, because you know I can't move my desktop. I went ahead and started paying for premium, so that way I had that nice amount of cloud storage that I'm sure will inevitably get completely filled up, and I'm not gonna know what to do. Anyways, I guess at that point maybe just get like a separate USB stick and like move some of the files on there. Let's see. Am I sticking to 3 hours? Yes, we are ending in about 20 minutes. That being said though, this sticker is pretty much almost done because, what's it called? The sticker is pretty much going to be almost done because I just need to uh, finish painting the flowers, and that'll pretty much be it, I think. So I'm gonna finish that tonight. I'll stay up a bit because I got work. Uh, on Fridays I work night shift. Brother day I decided to wake up a little later than usual. I mean, on the bright side, you can sleep in again. We'll put it that way. I've been waking up 3 a.m. consistently. Oh, Jesus. Couldn't be me. Actually, no. Lately I have been waking up just, like, randomly in the middle of the night. It's not any specific time, but it's just, it'll get, like, so warm. I'd have to turn on my AC like I did just now. And that's what it's been for me, honestly. Okay, actually, fill this part in. So that's gonna be our shape, and then, to figure out how I'm gonna do the rest of this. But, you know, you get to sleep in again, and, when the concert does happen, that is gonna be a nighttime stream for me. Once again, my ideal goal is Wednesday, but if I gotta do it at another time, I guess I'll do it at another time. Maybe like a Saturday night, just in case like my mom is like sleeping or something. But we'll see. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I have my 5-string bass now. I showed that off at the beginning of stream. Let's see, I have the 5-string bass now. I have, what's it called? I don't sleep in just because it messes with the sleep schedule I got. So, well, I didn't see it. Ah, shoot. Here, let me. You know what? Let me pull it out again. Once again, I wasn't expecting to finish the fairy on stream, so I'm not upset if we don't end up finishing it on stream. I could post it on Discord, but where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in not showing off on stream, you know? I already showed it off in the beginning, but I will gladly do it again. Besides, I gotta pack the cord for it too, because I need to, after stream, I gotta go over to a pawn shop so I can get an amp for this thing. This thing is massive. Look at this. Look at that. She is so pretty. I'm excited to play this. I do need a bigger amp though, because my little tiny baby one, absolutely gorgeous, right? My tiny little baby amp cannot handle how powerful this thing is. I don't think it definitely looks $700. Honestly worth it. It's the only other bass that I think I'm ever gonna need. I don't think I'll ever get a fretless. I don't think I need a 6-string. And the cool thing is that it, in some regards, it feels easier to play than the 4-string, which I think is hilarious. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that bad of a learning curve to get to this. And the cool thing is, despite me being a scrawny 5'2" Filipino twig, the stretching is not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, this is nothing. This is already what I've been doing. And the neck, I think, is just about the same thickness as my 4-string. So that means the strings are a little bit closer together. How tight are the strings compared to guitar? They're so easy to press down. So the thing with guitar, let me block the heavenly light coming in through my window. The thing with guitar is that when you play, you really gotta press down on the tip of your finger. I used to know how to play the piano, but I probably forgot everything by now. Huge mood, that's me with flute. The thing with guitar is that you really... Oh, you said 4-string. Lamau. Yeah, 4-string as in 4 strings on my bass. The thing with... The nice thing about bass is that you don't need to build up calluses to play it. It's okay, James. You don't need to build up calluses to play it, because rather than playing on the tips of your fingers, you can actually play on the pads of your fingers just fine. In fact, you're kind of supposed to have a flat palm so you can mute strings as you play. The thing with this big 5-string bass is that there's going to be significantly more muting involved. Uh, but you know, I was supposed to like learn how to mute anyways on my 4th string, and that's something that I'm still kind of struggling with. So this might be the thing that forces me finally to learn how to do that. Oh, that is weird. They teach you to claw it on guitar. Yeah, guitar, like you really got to be like that. For bass, you can flat palm it as much as you like. It's so nice. You don't build up calluses. It doesn't hurt that much to play. Oh my god, I love it so much. Um, and this is a beautiful, beautiful fucking bass too. I'm so excited to get this little band going, or get this little concert going. I wish you guys could hear that. Again, I would plug it in, but that amp really struggles with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. I'm also gonna pack the cord too while I still remember, because again, I need to go buy an amp for this thing, which means I gotta bring the cord with me. I should probably also bring the strap as well, all things considered, actually. So let me also do that. Well, I'll do it after stream. I'm not gonna. I arguably should not be doing this live, but it was just like a, well, let me just do that before I forget again. Ever so slightly. I can play a little bit of guitar. Like, I'm not. I just. I don't like it for the reason of having to straight up claw it. I think it's uncomfortable. I think it's like, again, it's uncomfortable. It hurts. It pisses me off too, because the other nice thing about bass is that the strings are much further apart. And the thing that was frustrating me with guitar was that if I didn't play on the absolute goddamn tips of my fingers, my pads were muting the other strings. So I found that to be insanely frustrating. Maybe there's like some guitar players like in chat right now, like listening to me like complain about this, and they're like, skill issue. And you're right, it is a skill issue. I just don't intend to fix it because I wasn't enjoying it at the end of the day. Like yeah, it again, like I definitely think I could have like gotten like pretty good at guitar if I just like kept on it, but so like muting guitar was not easy. Yeah, it's frustrating to me. So I wasn't enjoying it like that much. The other thing that was hard for me, wait, I'm thinking of bar chords. Yeah, no. The issue with me, right, was like, let's put these two paper clips next to each other. The issue was that the strings would be like so close, so that whenever I would play, if I wasn't on the absolute tips of my fingers, my pad was touching the next string, essentially. Like the pad of my finger, the little flabby part right here, was touching the next string and muting it. And because it would mute that, the sound was not ringing out the way that it was supposed to. And that was, again, that was frustrating as all hell, and I don't like it. I have to really like put my fingernails all the way to the nub, and it's just playing all the way up there does not feel good, like at all. And I just wasn't consistent enough about the practices to really keep my calluses where they were, so, you know, it just did not work out. Anyways, let's see, how am I going to get this sort of shape going? But yeah. I'd still like to learn. It's just, once again, I just find it frustrating. The other thing that I was having a huge amount of trouble with was memorizing the chord shapes and strumming patterns. To me, none of that makes sense in my head. I don't understand why it doesn't make sense. I just can't wrap my head around it. The only chords that I think I even like vaguely memorize is E minor and possibly G. It takes me about 3 days to regrow my guitar callus. Is pretty freaky. Oh wow. I've been messing around with bass at jam sessions I've been going to. It's super fun. And hello, welcome, Mr. Brown Guy 98. I don't play any string instruments, so it's nice because you really only need like 3 or 4 notes. Real, I love bass. Um, but yeah, I, I have trouble like memorizing like the chord shapes. I have trouble memorizing or wrapping my head around strumming patterns. I think it's really difficult personally. Once again, it is a skill. It is most certainly a skill issue, but once again, I do not intend on fixing it anytime soon-ish. Or again, rather, I would like to learn how to play. It's just like right now, I'm gonna play my bass. I don't even know music theory. Huge mood. Technically, I do know music theory, but also bold of you to assume that I know how to apply it. Um, I took music theory back in my freshman year, in one of my freshman semesters in college, and I enjoyed the class a lot. But lo and behold, I'm not great at coming up with like melodies or anything of the sort like that. In fact, I'm actually quite terrible at it. So bass lines are nice because I don't have to think as hard about coming up with a melody. I just take the melody and then rip it off. Oh my god, I just went from C to A for 3 songs in different patterns. Exactly. It's so good. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I would argue most people probably aren't like super proficient in coming up with uh melodies and stuff like that. But for me, having taken music theory and everything, it was just kind of like a. I feel like I should know this a little bit more already, but I don't. Okay, let's get some pedal shapes in here. Wow, it's incredible that this is even like marginally worked out, like somehow in my head. And then go back here. Just going to take a very small version of this. I have just acquired a trumpet though, so I'm gonna be learning that, and we'll probably learn some music theory, and at least which note is what. Yeah, that's honestly a good thing. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but I don't recall if anyone was here during stream for that. My brother Clive, he wants to be a DJ, and I told him it like yeah, you probably could just try and like force it, but it is good to have like some foundation of music theory if you're looking to like do stuff like that, regardless of like whether you need to be able to read sheet music or not. Um, because you know, I think just about every single DJ that I've listened to, because I used to be huge into like EDM and everything, um, they all either like knew how to like play piano or play drums or everything like that, or guitar and everything. So I told him he's got to learn how to play an instrument because that's gonna be one of the only ways he's gonna know how to like do like anything. As for to be honest, I know so many ABBs that are DJs and have no music background. I mean, yeah, there's that's completely fine, but um, you know, I think it helps to have like some sort of knowledge. And I'm not saying like he needs to know how to read sheet music or he needs to know how to compose and stuff like that. I'm saying he should probably know how to play an instrument is all. I think that's fair, you know, because a lot of the artists that he listens to, they know how to play an instrument. So I feel like it's only fair that he learns as well. And again, it's just a way to get him like off his computer a little bit more. Oh, it definitely helps. Exactly. And then the other thing too, um, the other thing that's nice too, that's actually kind of funny about me learning bass. Wait, which brother is this? I thought you said they were making a band with one of them. I have 2 brothers, the middle one and the youngest one. Johnny is, or Johnny is the one who wants to start a band. Clive is the one who I'm like saying like, hey, you should learn how to play an instrument. Because you know it's useful to know for the kinds of stuff that he wants to do. Speaking on like reading, being able to read sheet music and everything. Before I played bass and everything else going on in my life, I played flute for band for 6 years. So I'm actually very proficient at reading sheet music. Um, so, but it is incredibly funny when I'm like looking for tabs and I'm like looking at stuff. And it's like, does he mean professionally? I'm not exactly sure. I just know that he wants to DJ. Flute is such a sick instrument. I'm glad somebody agrees. I loved playing the flute when I was in band. Um, I think it is a really like pretty instrument to play. I wish I was, I wish I wasn't so out of practice with it. I did make it to top band when I was in high school. I made it to top band in my senior year, which was really cool. Um, and I think I definitely want to pick it up again. Another instrument that I tried learning before was violin. That did not go well. I might just hate most string instruments, but it's okay. Um, that I was torn for a while because I wanted to learn flute, but there were others I wanted to learn. That's like a brass flute, right? But I went for trumpet because I wanted to be filthy, and you can't be filthy on a flute. Well, you can be a different kind of filthy on a flute. I'm gonna tell you that. Um, the trumpet, you can argue it's like a it sort of fills the role of a flute in a sense. You could certainly argue that. I just think it's funny for me. Like I will like look at tabs sometimes, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like, this is completely unreadable. How the fuck am I supposed to know like how to play this just by looking at it? So I always end up liking stuff that like have a like a more sheet music like notation. Yeah, different kind of filthy. With trumpet, you can still be quite smooth too. Well, okay, filthy. When I say filthy on flute, I am talking about it from a dumb, stupid, uh, uh, very silly perspective. Um, one of the things that is important about instruments, when we say warm up, especially for wind instruments, you need to keep the instrument warm. Otherwise, because it makes a huge difference in tone quality. So oftentimes, if we got stuck in band, having to like with like a lecture and everything, same with brass. It's the same. It's literally all the wind instruments. Don't worry, James. Your question will be answered in just a moment. So the thing with flute, the way we would keep our instruments warm, I might need to demonstrate. Hold on. Yeah, we blow hot air into it. But here's the funny thing. If you don't actually know what a flute looks like, congratulations, you're going to learn something hilarious today. Okay, where is it? This is just me bringing out a bunch of instruments on the screen today, isn't it? This is where I keep my alcohol, right? I'm not going to take out the whole thing. I'm just going to take out the head joint. So, this... Man, I felt bad shelling my guitar and ukulele. You don't even want to know the end of it. So the way you play flute, usually there's like more of it, but you play it like this, right? Now the head joint is cold right now, and because obviously I haven't warmed up. But let's say I was in band and we had already done like the warm ups and everything, but now the director is like scolding the brass section again for whatever it is they're doing. Sometimes if it goes on for a little while, we do have to put our mouths to the instrument like this and just kind of like we'll blow air into it. So yes, you can be a different kind of like filthy with the flute is what I'm saying. You can make out with it a little bit. Lamau, exactly. So I'm gonna go put this back real quick. But that's just how it goes. Again, having a warm instrument does affect the tone quite a bit, so it is very, very important. When I said filthy, I meant more playing style. I'm aware of that, that's why I said a different kind of filthy. So how did you clean that, or does it have spit from your high school days? So, the way that you go about cleaning a flute, you have a cleaning rod or a tuning rod. It has a little eye in it. You stick a cloth through that eye, you twist it around, and you just kind of like... I never realized how sexually charged the flute is until now. Yeah, you can do that too, but there is a tuning rod, there is a cleaning cloth. You do shove the tuning rod and the cloth into the thing, twist it around, and pull it back out, and you do that all throughout the instrument. Should I explain this in a more sensual manner? Would that make this better? I think it would make it worse, actually. Which is exactly what I'm gonna keep, why I'm gonna keep doing it. But yeah, it really is just like you do that, you do that, and you can polish the flute with the spit in there. Um, I think but I will say there is different stuff that you can probably go about with. There are different things that you can go about with like polishing it, but that was how that was how we were taught to do it in school, and the tuning rod was also important because it did make sure that your flute was not broken, because there's like a little cork at the end that needs to be like adjusted, otherwise it makes it harder to tune. Yeah, when I played tuba in middle school, we were fisting the rag through. Exactly, exactly. Do you have to take the flute out to dinner first, or do you meet it at a bar? No. You go onto eBay or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and you type in flutes for sale and you buy it from a stranger. But the nice thing about brass is it has a spit valve. Yeah, we don't have those. Yeah. Anyways, it is just about 2:30. I think I think I should wrap up because I do want to I do. Oh my god! Thank you, Miss Brown Guy, for the follow. I should have clicked on this tab, clicked back to this tab a bit ago. We're at 104 followers. I'm excited for this concert. But anyways, outro stuff. I'm Pigeon Cur. You can find me on multiple. Oh, don't worry, I don't have work today, James. You can find me on my social media platforms under the same name, Pigeon_Cur. I mean tomorrow. Oh, thank you. And thank you for the congrats on the 100. We will be doing the concert stream hopefully next week. And if not, I will figure it out by then, I'm sure. I just gotta learn a few more songs, it seems, and it seems like I don't have too much time to like cram that in, so we'll see how that goes. Lovely talking to you guys. Yeah, concert. I will have an announcement for it on the socials, don't worry. About when I'm doing it. Honestly, I'm tempted to make it a Saturday just so stuff. But anyways, yeah, good meeting you. Good meeting everyone. Next stream is going to be Tuesday. That one's going to be the nighttime stream from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Please announce it on the Discord. I will. Don't worry. And yeah, I think that's just about it. Thank you everyone for coming around. It was great hanging out. Love you guys as always, and I'll see you next time.